kaibigan! At nandito na naman tayo ngayon sa Pro Gaming Series 2014 Spring Season, and I'm Sphere.
I'm Jay.
You're watching ngayon sa laban natin sa pagitan ng team ng Diamond versus team ng Wargods. Pero bago ang lahat, tignan muna natin ang ating schedules for tonight's matches sa araw na ito.
That's right. So our first match of the day will be Wargods and Diamonds. Wargods will be in the blue side in the first game, and the second game will still be Wargods and Diamonds, of course, with Wargods on the purple side in the second game. Alright, so let's take a look at our standings right now in the PGS. This is actually the final match of the season, and let's take a quick look over what has transpired so far in the season.
At para sa ating standings for the Pro Gaming Series 2014 Spring Season, let's see ang ating standings for the PGS so far ngayon. Yes, for the standings mga kaibigan, 11-10 para sa team ng Imperium. Nakakuha sila ng 11 na score since yung nilaban nila dito against team ng Mineski. Last week, I think nagkaroon tayo ng problem dito sa laban nila, and na-postpone ang laban. I mean, nagkaroon sila ng
they forfeit the match.
If not mistaken, ito sa forfeit match for team ng Imperium against team ng Mineski. For Wargods, we have 8-8. TT Sports Manila Eagles, 8-10. And Diamond, 4-8. So far for Team MSI Evo GT 310. Mineski on the other hand having the 2-10 score dito. So if ever na manalo ang team ng Wargods dito, 2 straight win for this day, they will have 3 more points for their
that will tie
league.
them with Imperium.
Yes.
And because of that, there's gonna be a special match to determine who will be the champion for this season.
Yes, there's a high possibility na magkaroon tayo ng ng tiebreakers match dito for Team Wargods versus team ng Imperium. So let's see kung kailan ito magaganap, and abang-abang lang tayo mga kaibigan. If ever na manalo ang team ng Wargods, this is a very entertaining match sa laban na to.
Si Diamond naman secured na sila sa 4th spot, so they will not drop down to relegation. Definitely MSI, Evo GT, and Mineski will be the bottom 2 teams who will have to battle out in regulation in the next season. Si Diamond naman, whether they win 1 point or 3 points, they will still be under the Manila Eagles and cement their stats as the 4th place this season.
Sa lahat ng tinakala mga kaibigan, ang Pro Gaming Series po ay ang way ng ating mga summoners or ating mga Filipino gamers na umabot sa ating Garena Premier League. So sino yung magiging top 2 na ating teams dito, or depende kung ilan yung teams natin for the Garena Premier League, they will go sa ating Garena Premier League next season.
That's right.
At paano kayo makakasali sa ating sa ating Pro Gaming Series? Simply join the Challenger Tournaments. At habang sumasali kayo sa Challenger Tournaments, yung mga points na naiipon nyo doon, possible na mag-proceed kayo for the Pro Gaming Series sa mga susunod na season dito.
Yes, and of course they will be facing off with Mineski and MSI Evo GT to get those last 2 slots for PGS in the next summer season. So sa lahat ng tinakala mga kaibigan, malapit nang matapos ang ating pointing system for the Pro Gaming Series season split next season. So darating na, if I'm not mistaken, this coming after ng Holy Week, magkakaroon na tayo ng cut-off sa ating points ng ating Challenger Tournaments, especially sa ating ranked teams. Kung sino magiging top 2 ranked team sa ating Challenger ranked team sa ating League of Legends or sa ating ladder dito, ranked team mga kaibigan will go to the Pro Gaming Series season split next season. So this coming before mag-end ang ating ang April dito, magkakaroon tayo ng season split kung saan maglalaban-laban ang 8 teams coming from the Challenger Tournaments, 2 from the Challenger.
I think it's 4
from the Challenger.
4 from Challenger Tournaments. We have 2 from ranked team Challenger.
Yes, and then the last 2 would be MSI and Mineski.
So eto mga kaibigan, napakagandang laban dito. Kapag nagkataon na nagkasalubong ang mga bigating teams, malaki talaga pinakaabangan natin. Take note mga kaibigan, meron tayong big news. Alam nyo ba na si Kaigo at si Snoy ay napunta na ngayon sa team na Imperium?
That's right. They signed up with Imperium to be the players for next season, if I'm not mistaken, for Imperium team in the, if ever, of course they'll be fighting in the PGS once again, so they'll be playing for that. I'm not sure if there'll be the representatives also in the GPL. Most likely it would be them as well. So it'll be really interesting to see how they perform again.
Sobra. Knowing that Kaigo and Snoy, one of the 2 of the best player in the League of Legends sa Philippines, sobrang laki na pagbabago na mangyayari dito.
Yes.
And I am thinking what might happen sa team ng Mineski ngayon, since wala na, napilayan sila ng sobra dito, having Kaigo and Snoy leaving their team. Pero mga kaibigan, eto na tayo ngayon. Game muna tayo. I'm Sphere and I'm with Jay. You're watching the Pro Gaming Series 2014 Spring Season. Game muna tayo ngayon. Let's see sa ating banning phase sa laban na to.
Alright, so alright, on the blue side, of course, we have Wargods, and on the right side, we have Team Diamond. Of course, the first ban coming from Wargods is Shyvana, while on the purple side, or Team Diamond, they first decided to bind out Kill. Now, we've seen Kill be very effective previously, And was a very strong of pick coming from Wargods.
Yes, mga kaibigan, I think nagkakaroon tayo ng problema sa ating layout ngayon. Pero still, we're looking at the bans and picks for the lineup of team. Or bans muna tayo ngayon for Wargods. We've seen na binan nila ngayon si Shyvana and Fiddlesticks as well. On the other hand, for the team of Diamonds dito, they banned Kale. At pinag-iisipan nila kung sino yung mga bans nila dito. Take note mga kaibigan, for the lineup of Team Diamond, medyo bago na naman ang kanilang lineup dito. We have Shura, we have Rai, we have Maricel, Jumpy, and Suez as well. A very good lineup for their team. Medyo meron akong makina ng team dito for the Diamonds na ngayon ko lang ulit nakita sa competitive scene na dating laging lumalakal, dating kilala na at ngayon lang sila bumalik dito. Isa dito si Suez, isa dito si Maricel, and we all know how Team Diamond will can dominate the lane phase dito and yung kanilang gameplay. Let's see how we'll win this game against team members of the Wargods. Take note, Wargods sila yung top 2 ngayon sa ating Pro Gaming Series. Right. So, isa sa pinakamatinding laban dito for team ng Diamond kung paano nila i-defeat ang laban nila against team ng Wargods.
Yes, and Wargods have actually very strong players. Of course, Trevor and Ochi and Poi have been doing really well. And even Stronger was one of the pivotal players of Team Wargods at the early part of the season. But JLC has been consistently being the MVP for Wargods, winning on champions like Andy in the top lane, Jackson in the top lane, and several other champions that were unorthodox during those times. So, galing talaga ni JC mo perform so far this season.
Looking at the bans mga kaibigan, for the Wargods, we're seeing na binan nilang is Tristana for the last ban. And I'm thinking that this is a respect ban for Diamond Rai, for the lineup of Team Diamond sa laban na to. But I'm thinking na he's not going for the AD carry role. He's going for the jungler. We all know how, well, sa mga players na hindi pa ganun nakilala yung mga lineup of team ng Diamond dito, Rai is a player na sa kanyang challenger account or sa kanyang solo queue, usually pick Tristana para sa kanyang main champion dito. And for the lineup of, for the bans of Team Diamond, we're seeing na binan nila si Kale, Vi, and Lulu. 3 champion na sobrang hirap mapigilan for your team. We all know how Stronger can dominate the laning phase using Vi or yung jungling route niya. Kyle as well, a champion for JLC for the top lane, and Lulu for Trevor against team ng Wargods. I mean, team ng Diamonds dito sa laban na to.
Yeah, so it looks like the blue team will lock in the Elise. Definitely will be seeing the Elise in the jungle. Stronger will probably be using this. Diamond picking up Morgana. I expect Diamond choose probably to play the support role on the Morgana, while Diamond Rai will probably keep his Kha'Zix in the jungle.
Alam mo, ang dami kong inaasahan na possible na mangyari dito. Ang daming open na champion. We have champions like possible pick for team ng Wargods dito. Annie for JLC na top lane. I am doubting na kukunin nila si Kassadin for the mid carry dito. Sobrang laki nung impact nung nerf sa kanya nung recent patch natin dito. Imagine, every time na ginagamit niyo yung kanyang Revoke, nagiging times 2 yung mana cost nito. At umaabot ng halos 1,200 mana cost yung kanyang paggamit lamang ng Revoke. At napakalaking bagay dito for Kassadin, yung ganung kalaking mana.
And I feel like the biggest change that really hurt Kassadin the most is his silence.
Yes.
Kasi ever since when I used to play against Kassadin, that's the most annoying I think part about playing against it is that once he mutes you, you can't really do anything about it. But because of the Kassadin is able to basically not silence you anymore, the only champions he can stop now are those with channeling like Katarina and Vel'Koz, which aren't very popular picks.
Napakahirap. Actually, it can still stop a channeling skill. If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it can stop a channeling skill. Pero yun na nga, konti lang ang meron channeling skills in League of Legends as of the moment. We've Katarina nga, and we've
Fiddlesticks, we have champions like
but even Fiddlesticks, kailangan makancel mo siya bago siya tumalon. So, it's really hard to use Kassadin now with the limited pool of champions that he can actually stop.
Yes. At mga kaibigan, looking at the picks of Team Wargods dito, they picked Elise para sa kanilang first champion. At alam mo ba, we all know how Elise can dominate the laning phase dito, especially kapag ginamit siya ni Stronger. Stronger is a very effective jungle player kung saan every time na nagkakaroon siya ng jungling route dito at kapag nakasalubong niya yung kanyang kalaban na jungle, ang bilis siya ma-counter. Especially when he's using Elise as a champion dito. 2 main champion for Stronger dito ay si Elise at si Vi.
Yes, but one thing I'd like to mention is in this patch also, Elise's jungling has slowed down because of the reduced damage against monsters. So, I don't think it really hurt him that much, but definitely, hindi na niya kaya mag-solo ng Dragon at by level 6. Actually, even with some items, he'll definitely require at least some help to take it down. Not like before, kahit at least Elise is alone, she can just use her spiderlings to tank the dragon and really do a lot of damage with her skills. But now, even with the damage reduction coming from her skills, it won't be enough anymore for them to for him to take out the dragon by himself.
Yes, surprisingly mga kaibigan, Wargods is trying to pre-pick Yasuo for their last pick dito for the lineup of team ng Wargods. And I'm thinking na who is the possible jungler of their team or the top lane dito. If ever na kumuha sila na Yasuo for their mid lane, kailangan nila ng isa pang knock-up dito.
Yes.
The first skill alone or yung kanyang wind, yung kanyang hurricane against their opponent dito, hindi enough para mag-sustain ng kanyang para magamit niya na maayos yung kanyang last breath against their opponent. And that is the most effective way for his champion para mag-dominate sa laning phase.
I think JC may go for the Annie top lane again.
Yes.
Because we could see, my guess probably, of course, will have Elise in the jungle, probably Karma as support, and then we'll see Annie in the top. Of course, Annie and Karma can switch roles. Either one could be either the top laner or the support. But most likely, like we mentioned, we've seen JSC last time using Annie very effectively in the top lane. So I won't be surprised if JSC picks up the Annie again this time.
Pero mga kaibigan, looking at the line of Team Diamond dito, they have Morgana, they have Kha'Zix, they have Caitlyn, and they have Nidalee as well. These four champions can dominate the laning phase, especially they can also win the team fight na kaya nilang gawin dito. Having Morgana as your champion dito, you have the Dark Bind, you have the spell shield as well, you have the traps coming from Caitlyn, the built over, the caliber net. Sobrang daming skills for their team, especially having Kha'Zix. If ever na itong champion ito na gagawin nilang jungler, this will be very hard for team ng Wargods na masustain yung kanilang laning phase dito, especially sa mga gank na mangyayari from Kha'Zix, knowing how Kha'Zix doing that jungle route sa kanya. And the advantage for Team Diamond dito ay hindi alam or hindi kilala to ng team ng Wargods. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first time na magtatakbo sila sa ganitong lineup for team ng Diamond against team ng Wargods. So they are not aware how Team Diamonds work having this kind of lineup.
Yes. Alright, so looks like some changes in the positioning, as you can see. Looks like alright, so of course we'll have Caitlyn at the bottom, Morgana as the support, Kha'Zix will be the jungler. Of course we'll see Singe in the top lane, Nidalee as the mid lane. Now I feel like that the lineup of Team Diamond needs I mean, the lineup of Wargods have to be very aggressive, because if they allow Team Diamond to group up and start sieging towers, of course, like you mentioned, ang daming poke damage coming from Team Diamond. They've got the Kha'Zix, they've got the Nidalee, they've got the Caitlyn, all with a lot of poke damage. Mahirapan ng Wargods mag-engage sa kanila if ever boss na sila sa buhay nila.
And yes, mga kaibigan, sa lahat ng confused, medyo hindi yata nag-ayos ng pestuhan dito ang team ng Diamond. For the support of Team Diamonds, we have Shura. Para sa kanilang support, ADR, na si Rai dito, AD Carry, having Caitlyn, Marcel for the jungler, or ito si Kha'Zix, Singe on the top lane for Jumpy, Swez para sa kanilang mid carry. For the line of Team Wargods, we have JLC for the top lane, and once again, very surprising champion for their lineup ngayon sa laban na ito. We've seen Annie top lane against Renekton, and take note mga kaibigan, it is against Sunoy na top lane dito against Mineski. Sobrang nakagulat yung nangyari doon.
He was going like 4-0 at the start of the game, crushing the top lane and even picking up a few kills in the mid lane.
Yes, so mga kaibigan, tignan muna natin, marami nagtatanong, tignan natin, silipin natin ang runes ni JLC dito. Having Annie the top lane, let's see kung ano yung runes niya and yung masteries for this champion. And mga kaibigan, for the armor 13 armor, magic penetration 7.8, 5.0% cooldown reduction, movement speed 4.5% as well, 8.0 magic resist at level 18. Not unusual for an Annie user dito. Makikita natin na wala siyang AP.
Yes.
Pero napakasakit ng kanyang magic penetration having 7.8 and very hybrid build for his champion dito, getting the 4.5 movement speed, also the magic resist and cooldown reduction for his champion.
Let's take a look at the masteries as well.
Let's see yung ating masteries mga kaibigan. 2109 utility Annie dito. Very effective for his champion if possible na kumuha siya ng sorcerer's shoes. Kasi hindi niya na kailangan ng mobility boots dito to make sure na yung gank niya ay mag-succeed sa mga gank magagawin niya.
He'll be on the top lane. he needs to have a lot of movement speed so he can escape ganks coming from the jungle. And like we saw in the previous game now where JLC used the Annie, ang hilig din niya mag-roam, di ba? Ilang beses siya pumunta sa mid lane. And with that movement speed bonus coming from the runes and masteries, which is a total of 6%,
yes,
this allows
6%.
him to easily go to other lanes. Like he has a built-in boost already even before the start of the game.
Yes, mga kaibigan, a very effective lineup for team ng Wargods dito. We have Annie, Elise, LeBlanc, Severe, and Karma for the lineup for team of Diamond, Morgana, Caitlyn, Kha'Zix, Singed, and Nidalee for the lineup of team ng Diamond. So very effective. Both the teams they both have the great potential when it comes to the team clashes dito. For the lineup of team Diamond, they are all about the poke damage before
engaging. The poke
engaging.
lineup coming from Diamond, while Wargods has high mobility coming from Karma and Severe, using their ultimates to allow to speed the whole team to chase or disengage Diamond's team composition.
Actually, for the lineup of Team Wargods, hindi sila yin-yang eh. Actually, when I say yin-yang, poke damage against engage lineup or initiation lineup, champions like si Jarvan, si Lee Sin against a champion like si Nidalee or any champion na mayroon pang poke damage against their opponent. Kasi ang yin-yang dito, kapag nagkadikit sila, doon mo makikita yung difference eh. Doon mo makikita yung kailangan lumayo ng poke team composition dito kapag nag-initiate ka agad ng engage or ang initiation lineup. So napakalaking bagay dito for team ng Wargods na masecure nila ng mabuti yung kanilang distansya, or especially for team ng Diamonds dito against ng Wargods. Kasi di sila dapat malapitan eh.
Yes,
but they have Singed, they have Kha'Zix, they have Morgana, they have the full support, they have the full damage kapag pumasok dito ang team ng Wargods.
Yes, alright, so let's take a look at the loading screen right now, and as you can see in their loading screen, ang gaganda ng mga skins ng mga players natin na yun. So, what if you want to buy this awesome skins from League of Legends GG Sphere? Ano pwede natin gawin?
Actually, syempre, napagod ng skin, di ba? Kung gusto mong bumili ng skin at wala kang, or tinatamad ka lumabas ng bahay mo, meron tayong tinatawag na e-pins from GameX. Para makabili gamit ang inyong mobile load, just visit epins.gamex.ph. After mo pumunta sa site na yun, select the game you are playing. We are playing League of Legends. And then select the initial denomination you want to purchase and click add to cart. After mo mag-click ng add to cart, enter your smart, TNT, or Sun mobile number and you will receive a confirmation code. Now, after mo ma-receive yung confirmation code, just text the verification code to 3161 to receive your e-pin.
That's right.
E-pin means e-pins from GameX. So, napakalaking bagay. Thank you very much, GameX. Thank you very much, GameX, sa ating magandang feature sa ating mga GameX.
Thanks to Smart. Of course, Smart is the one providing this GameX feature. And also, thank you to Razer for providing our peripherals this season. Alright, so actually, game on na tayo. There's a slight pause. Probably some minor adjustments to their settings before the game gets on along the way. Looking at that loading screen, parang gusto ko nga bumili ng augmented cinch with GameX eh. Para pag uwi ko mamaya, if I still have load, mag-load ako sa GameX para makabili ako ng cinch na augmented, diba? Siyempre, kailangan may load ka. Kailangan naman na magbibili ka ng RP na wala kang load. Medyo mahirapan ka na. Anyway, mga kaibigan, gaya na sinabi ko, abang-abangan lang natin ang mga mangyayari sa ating Pro Gaming Series. This coming end of April, magkakaroon tayo ng season split. And after nun, let's see kung sino ang team na lalaban for the Garena Premier League from the Philippines. That's right. Alright, so most likely, if we have two teams, we'll be seeing both well, of course, depends on what they. Definitely, IPT will be in.
Yes, actually, if we have two teams for the Garena Premier League again,
yes,
we will have IPT and Wargods.
Possibly Wargods, as long as they pick up one win today. If not, if we only have one team, it will still determine. We'll still have to find out what happens today. Of course, like you said, if Wargods wins both games today, they'll have to have a tiebreaker match against IPT to determine who will be number 1 for this season split. So, malaking bagay talaga yung laban na to for team ng Wargods kasi ito yung magiging decision for their team kung ano yung mangyayari sa kanila in the future for the Pro Gaming Series. Ito na mga kaibigan, game na tayo ngayon. A match between Team Wargods versus Team ng Diamond. Let's see. Let's go to Summer's Rift mga kaibigan at ito na. Alright, so looking at the mini-map right now, as you can see, members of Team Wargods putting a lot of pings down near the blue buff, and we can see Team Diamonds also speaking on the push here. As you can see, Jumpy already in his tri-bush, watching out for JLC or possibly lane swap if ever, if Wargods decide to do that. Now, Wargods right now defending pretty much. I'm surprised that both teams are not protecting the bush here near the Baron pit. No, it's quite surprising. most of the time you see somebody staying there in that bush and somebody watching out for somebody to place down a ward at the back of the red buff. But in this game, we see nobody there yet. Possibly there may be an invade here in the blue buff. There might be a late invade. As you can see here, Kha'Zix pinging down here on Karma. Looks like he may have spotted Karma already. Diamond Su's not yet throwing any spears yet, so it'll be really interesting to see how they play this level 1.
Yes, tignan mo, napaka-interesting nung kanilang plano ngayon, nung kanilang strategy, how they are trying to defend their jungle buffs dito for the lineup of team ng Diamond. Nasa bottom lane labang dito ang AD carry nila na si Rai, which is most likely medyo unusual. We should try to defend ang ating mga jungle buffs dito. Kung saan napapansin mo, ganun talaga nangyayari. Also, leash for the jungle. Para mabilis yung maklear yung kanyang blue buff or yung red buff niya, if ever na yun yung kukunin niya.
Yes.
For the lineup, for the top lane, Jay, we have Annie against Singe. Who do you think will dominate the top lane dito? Who do you think can win this laning phase in the early part of the game?
Well,
early part of the game.
I really feel like Annie has the advantage because she could easily poke down Singe. As you can see, Singe going for a lot of pots here, going with a flask and a red pot. He will definitely need to use all of that just to survive the laning phase. But if JLC pushes the lane too hard and brings him near to the turret of Diamond Jumpy could easily toss him to his turret, and that would be very dangerous for him.
Yes, mukhang nagkakaroon tayo ng medyo issue sa ating sa mga pagkakataon, technical difficulties ng mga kaibigan, at nagdi-disconnect ang ating ang ating mga players ngayon, so we have to pause the game. For top lane, like what you've said kanina, Annie versus Singe, well, possible na manalo dito si JLC, possible din manalo si Singe dito. It all depends how they can try to dominate the laning phase. Pero take note mga kaibigan, once na umabot ng level 6 si Jumpy, he can just catch those poke damage coming from JLC dito and then clear the minion wave ng mabilisan.
Yes, but definitely I'm sure JLC would do his best to try to deny Jumpy from picking up minions here. Of course, with his range, he can easily harass Jumpy. Jumpy has to position himself properly, to avoid some of the poke damage coming from Annie, so that he will be able to stay longer in lane and farm properly. Of course, most likely we'll be seeing Jumpy probably picking up an early catalyst to be giving some HP and some mana pool.
And actually for JLC na top lane, sobrang pabor sa kanya yung buff na nangyari kay Annie. Semi-buff, semi-nerf. Tinanggal dito yung AP, binawasan yung base damage ng kanyang disintegrate.
Actually, pretty much all his two skills.
Yes.
He's disintegrate
and incinerate.
Yes, that's
so
right.
So pareho silang na-buff. I mean, na-buff ang kanyang, if I'm not mistaken, it was yung kanyang first kill na na-buff dito, reducing the cooldown once na makapatay siya ng champion and also makapatay siya ng minion.
Yes.
Pero natanggal dito yung base damage na malaki, nabawasan yung base damage niya, pero tumaas yung AP ratio ng mga skills niya dito.
That's right.
So still pabor pa rin para sa kanyang champion dito. Nakadepende na lang kung paano niya masisigurado na makakaipon siya ng item against a Singe in the top lane dito.
Yes, it's favorable definitely for Annie if she's winning, but if she's losing, it may give her a little bit of a problem. So really, with Annie, you have to play aggressive but smart at the same time, and you can't allow your lane to bully you out of the lane, of course. Yes,
for the mid lane mga kaibigan, Nidalee versus LeBlanc. Nidalee, on the other hand, like, having his champion dito, mabilis yung, parang siyang AD carry eh. She can be an AD carry champion dito. Kasi mabilis yung kanyang attack speed. Also yung kanyang base damage as an AP carry, malaki din. So mas mabilis siyang makakuha ng CS, mas malamang siya when it comes to getting the CS against LeBlanc in the mid lane. Pero once umabot ng level 6 dito, both a champion have the potential to kill one another, especially meron ng Cougar form itong si Nidalee, meron ng distortion itong si LeBlanc against his opponent. So depende na ito kung sino muna sa pagbigay ng poke damage eh. Pero tingnan mga kaibigan, having Suez, Nidalee having barrier para sa kanyang summoner spell dito, medyo big deal to para against kay Trevor. Kasi Trevor can't just burst him down knowing na meron siyang barrier. Kaya niya survive dito at meron pa siyang heal if ever na mag-initiate dito si Trevor in every team fight na mangyayari.
That's right. But definitely I feel like this game will really depend on the early game. Whoever leads in the laning phase will probably win out in the game. Especially with the lineups coming from both teams. We have a high mobility team versus a poke composition. If the poke team of Team Diamond takes advantage of the early levels and actually wins their lanes, they should be able to easily siege down the turrets. But if they will lose their laning phase, especially if they lose a lot of minions, they'll definitely have a hard time dealing with the burst, the base damages coming from Wargods with the Ace and the LeBlanc.
So eto na mga kaibigan, game na tayo ulit. Let's see how Team Wargods versus Team ng Diamond dito ang magdodominate sa laban, or paano nila masisecure ang kanilang mga sarili na makakuha sila ng isang panalo for the match or for the Pro Gaming Series 2014 Spring Season tonight. And eto na mga kaibigan, kanya-kanyang kuha ng kanilang mga jungle buffs. Wargods Stronger goes for the red buff muna, and this most probably to support Annie or JLC sa top lane dito against KCG.
I'd just like to point out that actually Diamond Shoes threw a spear actually and almost stole the red buff off Stronger, but Stronger, being an excellent jungler, was able to smite it at the right time, or basically not smiting too early, and because of that he's able to get his own red buff. There we see Trevor going in for some harass damage onto Diamond Shoes. Now Kha'Zix decided to go to pick up his blue buff first, and is gonna proceed to his red buff as his second buff this time, this game.
Yes, at gaya na nakikita natin mga kaibigan, JLC versus Jumpy na top lane, nahihirapan dito si Jumpy na makakuha ng kanyang CS ng maayos, knowing na he is a melee champion. He is using Siege against a champion na meron siyang poke damage against his opponent, especially yung kanyang mana kapag nakuha siya ng minions dito ay babalik namang sa kanya.
Alright, so it looks like Ochi and Poi right now here having to protect their third right now. As you can see, Diamond, Rai, and Shura is doing a good job of pressuring here in the bottom lane. Here in the top lane rather, now JNC pretty much doing the same thing like I mentioned, because he has the advantage in the lane. He's ended up pushing the lane since Jumpy is having a hard time last hitting his minions. As you can see, right now JNC has 14 minions on his belt, while Sinch only has 8 so far.
Yes, for the mid lane mga kaibigan, kita-kita natin ngayon na medyo nagdo-dominate si Trevor against kay Swes. Pero since hindi pa tayo umabot ng level 6, hindi pa natin alam kung sino talaga may lamang sa kanilang dalawang champion na to or sa dalawang player na to mga kaibigan. Pero for the mid lane, alam mo, you can just waste your AP or your mana dito against your opponent, kasi when it comes to the masteries, meron tayong masteries for the AP carries na nagre-regen sila ng kanilang mana every time na makakapatay sila ng mga minions dito. Pero mga kaibigan, in the early part of the game, napaka-aggressive ng playstyle ngayon ni Stronger to dominate the jungle out of Maricel. At napapansin natin yun na nahihirapan si Maricel na makakuha lamang ng kanyang double golems dito sa jungle niya. And I think kapag nahihirapan siya mag-secure ng kanyang jungle buffs dito, especially pagkuha ng kanyang CS or yung kanyang jungle dito, mukhang mahirapan siya mag-survive sa laning base. Mga kaibigan, nag-good kukun time from Stronger dito. Getting drive from Swiss. Tumama din ito yung chain. Ignited mga kaibigan. He have to use that barrier and a stun. I mean, a rappel time from Stronger. And that pick up a first blood for their team sa laban na to against team ng Diamond. Very good job. Napagad ng team coordination for team ng Wargods.
That's right. So, good cocoon coming from Stronger, landing it perfectly. Follow up by Trevor's combo. Able to silence and lock down Diamond Shoes, of course. With that ignite, picking up the first blood for Team Wargods.
Alam mo, ito maganda sa Wargods. They're not hesitating, trying to get a kill sa mga ganks na nangyari sa kanila. Actually, naisip ko na baka mag-fail yung gank nila na yun. Knowing na Swiss have the barrier, you have the flash as well. Pero,
and he actually burned both of them, but it's just not enough. As you can see, the burst damage coming from Stronger. That's the reason why people ban out Elise. Because level 1 and these early levels is just too strong. Because like you mentioned, he has 6 skills in total, which all deal magic damage. And even with slight nerfs done recently, it's still too much to handle if everything lands.
And at sa panapansin ko dito, gaya na sinabi ko kanina, napakaganda ng team coordination coming from team ng Wargods. Dito, kung papansin mo, pagkalan ng kukun, followed up with that ethereal chain coming from Trevor dito, na silence kagad si Nidalee in the mid lane or itong si Swes. And that didn't give him the chance to disengage sa laban na yun, at nahuli siya kagad ng combo coming from their team. Ignited, was got ethereal chain, the first kill, the distortion as well. A very good job for team ng Wargods.
That's right. So here in the top lane, as you can see, Diamond Jumpy using up almost all his spots. There we go. He used his last charge of the flash right now, and JSC definitely winning that lane at the moment. Hasn't even used his cookie yet right now, and he's got 10 CS advantage over Diamond Jumpy. Ito
isa pang magandang yung magandang playstyle dito ni Trevor. Sobrang aggressive sa mid lane. Hindi niya hinahayaan na makakuha ng CS ng maayos dito si West against his opponent or against dito kay Trevor. Especially at this point of time, hindi naman ganun kalaki yung difference, pero hindi pa siya umuwi sa base niya.
Yes.
Torrance ring pa lang din yung item niya, pero yung kanyang kalaban dito, knowing na umuwi na siya,
yes,
he still have the advantage.
Look at the coordination coming from Wargods.
Yes, just to get that rate.
Yes, and not only that, they're preparing for the blue buff. The blue buff will be up for in about a minute from now. And they've already put down 2 wards in the tri-bush and that intersection, so that if the bottom lane decides to stop the counter gank coming from Stronger, they'll be ready to face that. So really good planning coming from Wargods. You see, they're planning 1 minute ahead of their game, and they've executed it perfectly. Let's see, I'm pretty sure in about 1 minute, as soon as the Katik go down there to pick up his blue buff, Wargods will be ready to engage on him.
Yes. Mga kaibigan, malapit na mag-respawn yung blue buff ng Team Wargods, Team Diamonds dito, having this ward. Possible na mas din nila mga kaibigan. Top lane mga kaibigan na nga mabuhay na Japan dito. He was ignited. And yes, 1 kill for JLC. He is chasing Maricel dito. He have to use that Void Spike para mapag-disengage and use that Incinerate as well para mag-regenerate in the top lane. Pero mga kaibigan, 1 versus 1. Sobrang napakahasim dito ni JLC trying to get the life of Maricel. Pero he have to disengage as well. But Swiss trying to respond. And 1 more hit to kill JLC dito. Cooker form. And yes, Maricel pick up another kill to the top lane dito. Very good job for Team Diamond. Especially kay Swiss responding in the top lane to kill JLC.
That's right. Actually, if probably Diamond Swiss did not go out to the top lane, I feel like JLC may have picked up a second kill that time around. As you can see, JLC calculating the damage comes with it perfectly, surviving and going around. Of course, because of that, since Trevor was not able to come follow up on Diamond Suits, this allowed the Suits to pick up a kill.
Yes, mga kaibigan, first dragon for team ng Wargods dito. JLC, Stronger and Boy Sanity trying to solo the dragon dito. Take note, wala pa level 6 dito si Stronger, and it's kind of unusual na makita natin ganito yung kanyang strategy. At gaya na sinabi natin, napakalaking impact when it comes to getting the dragon, yung nerf na nangyari kay Elise dito.
Yes,
hindi nila makaya na ma-burst kagad itong dragon, even having 2 champion or even with the help coming from Karma dito for Elise.
That's right. So it looks like Nidalee was able to still pick up his own blue buff. Like you said, Team Wargods decided to pick up the dragon instead, but with the nerfs coming from Elise, it's definitely a lot harder for them to take it down now. Unable to, they're receiving a lot of damage, and also I believe there will be some changes to the dragon in the next patch, so it'll be really interesting to see how it will turn out. Alright, so Wargods Trevor.
Yes, 2-1 ang ating score in favor of team ng Wargods. Trevor being aggressive in the mid lane against kay Suez dito, having that blue buff. He have the status advantage, pero mga kaibigan, JLC not giving Jumpy enough time to get the CS against his opponent. So ito magandang sinasabi ko mga kaibigan, Trevor being so aggressive in the mid lane dito. At ito yung pressure na nangyayari against his opponent. Hindi siya makakuha ng CS na maayos. Suez can farm very well. 73-65 CS dito. 0-1-1 score for Suez. 1-0-0 for Trevor in the mid lane.
That's right. Alright, Kazik is ready to pounce on Trevor. Trevor has to be really careful. Here comes the spear. I think he was able to dodge that last spear coming from Nidalee. Boy Sanity avoiding that dark binding coming from Morgana. He should be safe for the next few minutes. You can see Wargods being very aggressive in the bottom lane, trying to outpush this time Team Diamond, while Diamond had the slight advantage in the early game.
Yes, in the bottom lane, looking at the lineup of Team Wargods dito, they have Karma and Severe. And when you're using Karma and Severe, you have to make sure na you can poke down your opponent before you engage the team fight. So ito maganda sa kanila. They have the poke potential, they have the first kill from Poi, they have the boomerang from Ochi dito. At ito magpapahirap against si Caitlyn and Shura, or itong kay Morgana and Caitlyn at the bottom lane. And they can actually lamang si Caitlyn against si Severe. And like what other players are trying to say before, pang-counter daw si Severe against kay Caitlyn because meron siyang mana shield or yung kanyang yung kanyang spell shield to block any skill coming from Caitlyn. Pwede niyang gamitin yun to get the trap.
Yes.
Yes, at ito na mga kaibigan, nagkakaya from Stronger na mid lane, trying to get the life of Suez dito. A disengage coming from the members of Wargods. And yes, response mga kaibigan galing from JLC dito. Trying to initiate mga kaibigan. Take note, meron siyang movement speed dito. Tumama kanyang T-burst. Marcel lang. Ano ba kanyang buhay dito? Have to use that flash out. He was ignited mga kaibigan. And he didn't make it para makapag-disengage sa laban na to. Shura and the other hand in the bottom lane. Ano ba kanyang buhay dito? Wala nang mana si Ochi to use that on the hunt against their opponent. Trevor, 1v1 against his West dito. He was silent. Ginamit na kanyang distortion dito and fire as well. Napaganda pag-flash out galing kay Trevor dito para mag-disengage sa laban na to. JLC still chasing Swess dito. You can't chase Anitali when he or she is in the brushes, pero dahil sa flash out na yun, Poisanity and Ochi in the bottom lane got the life of Swess sa laban na to. Very good job para sa kanilang champion.
Yes, and a good flash coming out from Trevor. All surviving with like about 100 HP there. Into safety, of course, his illusion stood with him, beside him, but because JSC doing a really good job of roaming all the way down to the mid lane, allowed Trevor to survive that duel between him and Nidalee. Alright, so
yeah. Actually for Annie, yung kanyang AP dito nakabase lamang sa kanyang scaling or scaling AP na dahil sa runes niya or sa masteries niya. Kasi sa runes niya kanina wala siyang AP eh.
That's right.
Meron lang siyang
plus
magic penetration. Yes. So mga kaibigan, ace in the hole coming from right dito, but hindi pa rin enough to kill Ochi with that special for his champion. 4-1 ang ating score. Napakalaki ng goal difference natin. Halos 2k or yes, mga 2k, 2.3k in favor of team ng Wargods. And Diamond have to do something sa ganitong performance na nangyari sa kanila mga kaibigan. JLC still dominating halos lahat ng laning phase dito. Gaya na nangyari before, hindi siya parang top lane. Parang rin siyang jungler sa ginagawa niya. Responding the mid lane and the top lane as well. This is mga kaibigan, Poisanity have to use that flash in a spell shield coming from Shura, repel from Stronger as well. Pero they have to disengage sa laban na to. And with that, they successfully disengage in the bottom lane. Pero Wargods getting the first turret in the mid lane. Objective-wise, Wargods have the advantage. 1 minute left bago mabuhay ang ating Dragon for this game against the members of the Diamond.
That's right. So JSC will be going back to the top lane after helping Trevor here in the mid lane. Now, here in the bottom lane, as you can see, things are getting a little tense. And a signal coming from Kazik regarding the blue buff. Trevor, right?
Yes, Trevor being so much so aggressive mga kaibigan there. He's being chased by the two champion of Team Diamonds dito. Napakaganda performance coming from Marcel. Evolving his, yung kanyang SS dito. And Trevor with that distortion and flash out as well. West still chasing him. Pero response, wala pa rin nag-response yung mga kaibigan. Distortion once again has been popped out para mapag-disengage dito. Stronger, trying to chase down any member from Team Diamonds. Nasa bushes sila dito. And they can't chase the champion. So, missed out from Stronger in sa laban na to.
That's right. So that's a very long chase coming from Team Diamond to take down Trevor. Trevor getting lucky also there. His clone actually catches one of the spears of Nidalee there, and because of that, he was able to use his distortion to escape that. He used it about 4 times, including his ultimate, of course. Yes, straight enough distance to escape.
Ito na mga kaibigan, Jumpy getting his chance para magbigay ng poke damage against kay JLC dito in the top lane. At gaya na sinabi natin, kalagang tinatrabaho lang niya sa JLC dito. Ang kailangan lang niya gawin, kumuha ng kanya level 6. A dragon na tayo for team members of Wargods dito, pero dahil sa gumamit na ng leap si Diamond, hindi na sila makakakuha ng chance to steal that dragon. And that pick up another dragon for team members of Wargods. This is the second dragon of this match. At that is the second dragon for team members of Wargods. Mga kaibigan, T-Burst vs Jumpy in the top lane. He was ignited mga kaibigan. One more hit para kay JLC dito. Nauna pa si JLC. Sobrang kunat ni Jumpy dito sa laban na to. Having that Megatron cloak and the crystalline, ditong the catalyst of the protector para sa kanyang champion.
That's right. Actually, that was really close. I thought the GT may have survived that, but looks like the damage coming from Jumpy there was just enough to win that 1v1 duel here in the top lane. Of course, he was already able to take down the first outer third rather of Wargods in the top lane, while Trevor, of course, with the help of JDC a while ago, was able to push down the mid lane for the first tower of the game. Alright, so far, Team Dragons going to Team Wargods here, none for Team Diamond. Diamond, though, doing a decent job so far. Scores not too far, it's about 2.5k in favor of Wargods at the moment. Now we have a slight pause. I'm not really sure, probably another connection issue, but this should probably not be very long. Alright, so looking at the lineups right now, we can see Annie has been winning the lane. He has 2 kills and 2 deaths, of course. He was also able to win the CS so far over Singe, of course, but Singe is doing so far a pretty good job. He's getting enough items so far to get tanky, especially in the late game. If they allow Singe to get tanky enough, he should be able to negate most of the damage coming from Wargods, especially since 4 members from Wargods are actually ability power champions, and once he probably builds a Banshee's Veil and what's the other item? It's yeah, Banshee's Veil and
the Spirit Visage?
Spirit Visage,
yes,
right.
Nakabigay na bottom lane ng anumang buhay nila dito with that spell immunity coming from the members of Team Diamond. They successfully disengage in the bottom lane. Looking at the item of Stronger dito, medyo hindi siya ganun ka-ahead against Maricel. Knowing na meron pala siyang Spirit of the Ancient Golem. Pero mga kaibigan na namin, nanganib ang buhay ni Suez dito. He's taking so much damage. And yes, one more kill for Trevor. Void Assault has been popped up by Maricel dito. Trevor's being chased down by Maricel. Void Assault once again. Tinamaan siya ng trap dito. And I think he can't disengage. In this team fight, ginamit ang kanyang distortion once again para mapag-disengage. Pero with that trap coming from Italy, nakita siya dito ni Maricel in the jungle.
That's right. Looks like Jumpy has already is about to complete his Roa right now, and right now I think JLC will have completed his voice up, but I feel like I don't think he can fight anymore Jumpy on a one-on-one basis. As you can see how strong Jumpy is right now, pushing just some of his poison is more than enough to clear the entire wave before they even reach his tower. So if I were JLC, I'll probably start roaming around the map, especially in the mid lane and the bottom lane, where the bot lane we haven't seen much action. As you see, both towers are still up, which is normally expected. You see that those turrets are maybe the first turrets to go down in the game.
For Annie in the top lane, once again, JLC is focusing more sa kanyang magic penetration para sa kanyang champion dito. And I'm thinking na he will get possible na kumuha din siya ng kanyang hunting guys against Zipon or yung Leandris kapag na-upgrade na niya itong kanyang hunting guys against Zipon dito, kung saan nabibigay sa kanya ng napakalaking armor penetration against Zipon. Kasi alam natin lahat na he's going against a champion na merong magiging tankiness dito, mga kaibigan. Nanganib ang buhay ni Suez dito. Iniwasan ni Stronger ang trap ni Italy. Arapelas din popped up, mga kaibigan. Stronger is being chased down. Boys, Hanity have to use that first skill, second skill dito. And yes, he successfully killed Italy or Suez in the jungle dito. And nihabol nila ngayon si Maricel, mga kaibigan. Stronger didn't notice na nandun sa second third turret si Maricel trying to recall. At kung nakita niyo yun, mga kaibigan, they can pick up another kill. JLC is being chased down by the champion dito of Team ng Diamond. Na ginamit na ngayon ni Shura ang kanyang spell shield. 3 champion of Team Diamond trying to respond. Trevor chasing down Diamond Rai dito. Diamond Rai got died as well, mga kaibigan. Pero dahil sa nangyari ito, Maricel once again have this point para mag-disengage. One more hit for Stronger. He pick up another kill. It was a 3-4-2 exchange in favor of Team ng Diamond dito. One champion na naman, mga kaibigan, from Team ng Wargods. And yes, it's a 4-4-2 champion or 4-4-2 exchange in favor of Team ng Wargods. Napakalaking advantage na naman for Team ng Diamond. I mean ng Wargods dito sa laban na to. 10-5 na ang ating score. At ito sinasabi nating clash advantage for team members of Wargods sa laban na to.
That's right. Trevor going a little bit greedy back there. He's actually now 5-1-3 right now, doing really good so far in this game. Of course, JLC hasn't been that lucky, as you can see. He got caught by that trap of Diamond here, the try push a while ago. And now Diamond Sue's here all alone in the mid lane, probably gonna try to apply some damage at the bottom third if Severe doesn't get there in time. Alright, so we can see some pings coming out from Team Diamond, so signaling that the blue will be up in a few seconds. There we go, the blue is already up now. Diamond sure clearing out a pink ward. Same with Sue, spotting out another pink ward from Team Wargods.
Actually, at this point of time, mga kaibigan, 10-5 ang ating score. Even though ganito yung ating score dito, 4K goal difference in favor of Team ng Wargods. Hindi siya ganun kalaki kung tutusin in the 19-minute mark. And for the next few seconds, mga kaibigan, 50 seconds left bago mabuhay ang ating Dragon. I think kung makuha ito ng Wargods, mag-snowball na naman ang kanilang item dito. They will have the advantage once again sa laban na to. Pero ito na, mga kaibigan, Jumpy chasing down JLC dito. JLC taking so much damage. Tiber's been popped out, mga kaibigan. He was ignited as well. At hindi niya kaya saluhin lahat ng damage output coming from JLC. At sabi ni JLC, hindi na siya makakaulit sa nangyari ngayon. JLC did pretty good job in the top lane dito, getting the life of Jumpy in the top lane. And yes, I think it's about time to get the first tier turret of this over the top lane for JLC sa laban nila against the team ng Diamond.
Yes, JLC doing a really good job of landing the timbers behind the scene. And also, he decided to go even more forward. He probably wants some push trail. As you can see, a siege coming here from Wargods here in the bottom lane, picking up the turret. Diamond not able to engage. As you can see, immediately has to land those spears if they want to engage. But until that time, looks like Wargods will be waiting for the members of Diamond here in the bush.
Yes, eto na mga kaibigan, Team Wargods trying to set that dragon. They are not aware mga kaibigan, and yes, nahuli nila si Marcel just in time. Very good job for team ng Wargods dito. Trevor's on rampage, they're chasing down Shura. 3 champion of Team Diamond trying to wait the right timing for their team to disengage. I mean to engage mga kaibigan. Diamond got the life of Wargods stronger in the jungle, pero Shura still being chased down by the team members of Wargods. Jumpy trying to respond dito sa laban na to. Ochi taking so much damage coming from the poke, damage from right dito. And yes, Dark Bind coming from Shura, and that gave them another kill sa laban na to. Wargods, Ochi na nga ba kanyang buhay mga kaibigan. 4 champion, 3 champion of Team Diamond chasing down Wargods. Ochi, he can't do anything. One more toss coming from Jumpy dito at makuha ang buhay sigurado ni Ochi. But yes, spell shield mga kaibigan ang kanyang pag-asa dito. Ito na sinasabi natin dito, and that pick up another kill for Team Diamond. 12-8 ang score natin. And I think it's a 3-4 exchange.
Yes.
Actually, in favor of Team ng Diamond.
That's right. I think Wargods got a little bit too greedy there. They really picked up 1 kill. They should have just backed away and be happy with it. But since they wanted to pick up more kills, Shura actually forcing out the members of
wow, my big and very good job for Trevor. Yes. With that distortion and a mimic distortion as well. He successfully got that dragon. And second tier turret for team ng Wargods as well in the top lane. Grabbing performance from Trevor dito. He is very dominating mga kaibigan. Ito ang ating replay. Let's see how Trevor can steal this dragon once again.
Yes, you can see Team Diamond taking down the dragon, going down to very low health. Trevor with that ward spots in and uses the double distortion like you mentioned and steals it away.
Well, actually, hindi ko na-expect na ganun yung mangyayari coming from Trevor, but the distortion, I think nagulat dito si Marcel. Most probably. Kasi they're not expecting any champions from the team members of Wargods to steal that dragon.
Yes. There was actually a ward there, so definitely Trevor was able to time it perfectly. And they expected that the dragon was more than far enough.
Yes.
Because they were able to pull the dragon out of the dragon pit. But of course, with Trevor's distortion, it was more than enough for it to get enraged to steal the dragon from Team Diamond.
And ito na mga kaibigan, it's about time for the team Wargods to get the second tier turret in the mid lane. Giving the pressure for the Team Diamond dito. They can't respond very well. 12-8 ang ating score.
Yes, that's right. Team Diamond needs, or Team Diamond needs to land those spears if they want to engage on Wargods. You can see Wargods all very healthy right now, and they're clearing out the wards coming in. Wargods avoiding those spears, all those poke damage coming from Team Diamond.
This is my bigger JLC initiated with that flash in Swiss Coast, that burst damage coming from team members of Wargods dito. Rapel has been popped out. The Black once again used that distortion to kill down another champion. He was ignited. JLC goes down. It's a 2-for-1 exchange, and they're chasing down Team Diamond dito. 2 champion of Team Diamond na mamagakan nilang buhay, but they have to disengage the laban. And yet again, Team Wargods being a very dominant team dito, getting the third tier turret in the mid lane. Very good job for Team Wargods, especially for JLC initiating that team fight.
And JLC being very, very aggressive there. You can see here, members of Wargods collapsing down on Morgana. Morgana gets burst down. Jumpy doing everything he can to burn down the lives of the members of Wargods with that poison trail. You can see Jumpy is trying to escape there, taken down, but he was able to pick up a kill before going down. Wargods, Ochi, and the Poi and Stronger will decide the back way. They were able to do what they needed to do, take down all the thirds and pick up the inhibitor.
Yes, mga base point of time. 16-10 ang ating score in favor pa rin sa team ng Wargods, pero Team Diamond trying their best to chase down Team Wargods dito. And alam mo, naging napapansin ko problema for team ng Diamond. Hindi nila ganun na nasisecure yung kanilang or yung pagbilang ng flash for Annie dito. They have to make sure na walang flash si Annie bago magkaroon ng team fight at hindi sila mahuhuli. Yun lang naman ang mahalaga eh.
Yes, and actually another thing I'd like to point out is that Team Diamond isn't really effectively using their lineup. They're a poke composition, but so far every time that Wargods engage, they're practically at full health. So the Nidalee and Caitlyn definitely need to start poking properly if they want to take the Wargods in the team fight. Alright, so Wargods JC putting down a pink ward here in the Baron and clearing out those wards of Team Diamond. Here's another one here. So two wards basically destroyed by Wargods by JLC rather, and you see here Diamond Zeus picking up his own blue buff. Of course, they have a pink ward there to make sure nobody tries to steal it away from them. Trevor speeded up by Karma, being chased down by Trevor. Trevor realizing he's under the third, decides not to continue. Right,
actually, it's kind of unusual na makita mo yung ganitong item for Siege First Champion. Actually, I think this is enough to dominate the team fight dito, pero Wargods JLC being the APK champion for the top end of Team Wargods dito, sobrang pressured ng team ng Diamond at hindi nila alam kung anong gagawin nila to counter the Annie pick for team ng Wargods dito. Especially, they don't have that kind of solid tanker champion. Wala sila ditong champion like Dr. Mundo, champion like Singe. They only have a champion na kaya pumatay kagad dito sa team members of Diamond. Yun ang kailangan nilang gawin, kill a champion as soon as possible. At ito yung magpapadalo sa kanila sa mga teamfight na mangyayari.
Yes, and there we see another spirit coming from season.
Once again mga kaibigan, ginamit ang kontahan dito to use that T-burst just in time. Jumpy is being chased over the team members of Wargods. Wargods stronger, have to use that rappel. Marcel have to engage as well. Team Wargods have to disengage. Tinamaan ng spear mga kaibigan. Itong si Stronger and he goes down. Ocho's been left behind. Double kill for Ditari with that 2 spear for his champion. It's a 3-4 na exchange niya for team members of Diamond dito. And I think it's a good job for Team Diamond. Turn around for their team. Mukhang mabilis mabaliktad ng laban na to kapag medyo napabayaan lang ng team ng Wargods na maunahan sila ng team ng Diamond.
That's right. So, still a good lead for Wargods right now, but definitely I feel like Wargods got a little bit aggressive there, trying to force to take out 5 members of Team Diamond right under the third. Of course, 2 members of Team Diamond had really low health, but they didn't have enough firepower to execute the HP of the last 2 members. So now we can see here Team Diamond, I feel like they feel a little bit they've gained a little bit of confidence from the last team fight, being able to pick up 3 kills for none gave them a boost of confidence. As you can see right now, Shura being very confident, putting wards here in the Dragon Pit, clearing out all the pink wards. I feel like there may be a Dragon fight very soon, especially with Wargods wanting to close this game as soon as possible. Alright, Diamond Zeus is farming here in the mid lane. Of course, you can see here there's some super minions because of the inhibitors being taken down a while ago by Wargods with an early push in the mid lane.
So at this point of time, mga kaibigan, ng ibang buhay dito ng Team Wargods, especially sa mga pagkakataong ito, nakikita natin na nakakabawi ang team ng Diamond. Even though malaki pa rin ang ating goal difference, almost 9k in favor pa rin sa team members of the Wargods. This is the 4th dragon of this game at nabuta na naman to sa team ng Wargods. Yes. Na-steal kanina ni LeBlanc or ni Trevor ang dragon, and nabuhay na ang inhibitor ng team Diamonds in the mid lane dito. So wala nang pressure for the team Diamond and they can just gank any champion or team members of the Wargods dito.
Yes, Wargods has the superior control here right now, as you can see here, but surprisingly Wargods are a little bit scared of the initiation coming from Singe and decide to back away. As you can see here, Trevor split pushing here in the mid lane. Of course, even if members of Team Diamond decide to try to stop Trevor here, he can easily distortion out. As you can see here, Wargods now trying to push here in the bottom lane. We've only got 2 members of Team Diamond here to defend right now, and I believe this tower will be going down. Yes, it has. Wargods taking the last outer third of Team Diamond, and they definitely have a 50k gold lead over Team Diamond. Trapped by JLC there. There's actually 2 wards in that bush, a big ward and a regular ward. So looks like Team Diamond will have to defend once again. The Baron is up, and I feel like most likely Wargods may rotate to this right now, especially with JLC providing some distraction for Team Diamond, but Diamond deciding not to chase Annie anyway. Actually,
Team Wargods can still, Team Diamond can still win this game kapag nagpatuloy yung ganitong performance ng Team Wargods na medyo nagigikampante sila. Kanina, napansin ko sa team fight na nangyari sa bottom lane, medyo naharangan sila nung Singe. Halos lahat ng damage or halos lahat ng skill kaya from team members of Wargods nasa lahat ni Jumpy dito. That gave them the advantage to dominate the team fight na nangyari kanina. And especially, hindi na kailangan pabayaan dito yung skills or yung trail itong si Poison Trail guy from Jumpy, mga kaibigan. Tinamaan ako kung si Jumpy dito. Grabe yung ginagawa performance ito si JLC. Sobrang hiwalay siya. He have to burst down the champion. One champion from Team Diamond goes down. And once again, Jumpy, ginagawa niya dito yung performance niya, trying to show down the champion of team members of Wargods. And yes, one more champion. 2 for na change na itong laban na ito. Diamond West trying to run for his life. And with that pushes, kaya niya makatakbo dito. And the Cougar form as well. For the meantime, mga kaibigan, Wargods on the other hand, getting the inhibitor. This team, this is a waste of time. And yes, tinamaan ng spear, mga kaibigan. Medyo nakakagulat yung nangyari yun for JLC dito. And it's 18-14 score. On the hand has been used by the team members of Wargods dito. And well, it's a 2 for 1 exchange. Still in favor of team ng Wargods, getting the inhibitor for the team.
Yes, actually, like you mentioned, I think JLC was surprised at that spear coming from the landed as perfectly. As you can see, Wargods stealing the blue buff of Team Diamond. Wargods have to be very careful just in case Diamond decides to chase them down, but it looks like they decide not to. So Wargods going back to base, probably gonna pick up a few more items. I expect them. They've got actually no more map wards anymore in the map. If you take a look right now, they've only have 1 in the red buff area and 2 pretty far apart from each other. They don't have any. Both teams have no vision of the Baron right now. So probably we'll see a few wards being placed down here and possibly maybe even a Baron fight already. So
I was talking about the lineup of Team Wargods kanina. Late game, I don't think they can still win this game. Kapag umabutan ng around 15 minutes, Diamond can win this game. Promise. They have LeBlanc. Well, she is a champion na sobrang laki ng burst damage niya. Kaya niya kagad pumatay ng champion dito. Any champion ng team members of Diamond. Especially si Caitlyn. Kitang-kita mo naman kanina yung paghiwalay na ginawa dito ni JLC. He caught 2 champion from team members of Diamond dito. Walang nagawa dito si Caitlyn and si Karma nung time na yun. I mean, si Caitlyn and si Morgana nung time na yun. And nahuli sila ng T-burst. Nahuli din sila ng burst damage having those kind of item, mga kaibigan. Pero West, tinamanan tayo yung chain shutdown for Trevor. Rapelas yung top-up, mga kaibigan. They're chasing down Jumpy dito. Ginamit na kayo ni Sanity ang kanyang second skill to chase down the champion. Ace in the hole with that shield. Saved himself. Very good job for team ng Wargods dito.
Yeah, I just like to point out that Asian hole did go through LeBlanc again. LeBlanc being too thin again to block that Asian hole. Luckily, Karma had enough HP to survive it.
JLC, mga kaibigan, ginamit ang kanyang T-burst dito at just in time to use that Sonya's as well. Pero he goes down, mga kaibigan. It's a 3 for 1 exchange na ito. Diamond Marcel trying to run for his life. Jumpy is being chased down by Trevor. Ochi and stronger sa laban na ito, mga kaibigan, with that distortion. Nag-miss ang kanya ito yung chain. Flash in coming from Ochi. And one more hit coming from Ochi dito to kill to get the life of Diamond Jumpy for this game. And I think without wasting time, they're trying to get that in the next turret. Tumawa na naman ng Spear of Death coming from Swiss dito, getting the life of Stronger. One more hit, mga kaibigan, for Swiss dito to goes down. Ginamit na niya ngayon ang kanyang first kill. Stronger got the life of Swiss dito. Boy, Sanity have this that falls his own to chase down Maricel. Maricel can't do anything to defend this next turret. And I think it's about time. Even though mamaga ang buhay nila, magre-respawn na si Shura dito. Shura respawn just in time, pero grabbing burst damage time from Trevor. And Trevor got the life of Shura, but they have to disengage sa laban na to.
Yes, so now Diamond Trevor, Wargods Trevor rather, 10-2 with 7. I feel like he may probably pick up his Zonyas now. As you can see there, he has a lot of. Here we have an instant replay of what happened here. You see here Wargods picking up the first Nexus turret. Morgana decided to use his Black Shield on the Kha'Zix. Unexpectedly, Trevor bursted down Morgana, and because his shield was already placed on the Kha'Zix, it blew him up. So good job coming from Trevor, picking up the right, targeting the right opponent there. Of course, the Black Shield would have stopped Trevor from bursting down Kha'Zix, but because of that, the life of Morgana or Shura was taken instead. Alright, so Marcel right now clearing out the wards here at the back of the Baron pit. Of course, they have a pink ward located there right now. Wargods right now picking up the 5th dragon of the game, I believe. All the dragons so far going to Wargods. So far, Team Diamond attempted the dragon once, but it was stolen by Trevor with excellent timing. And as you can hear, Wargods have a huge gold lead at the moment. It's about 14,000 gold lead for Wargods, and it's going to be really hard for Team Diamond to get back to the game. Of course, we've seen a few spears coming from hitting so far, but it's just not gonna be enough unless it connects a little bit more of those spears into members of Wargods. I feel like Wargods probably will close out this game. Alright, so it looks like Wargods tried to flank Team Diamond there. Decide not to engage large
JLC mga kaibigan, flash in 1 second. Diamond Rise goes on. Napakabilis ang performance dito. Napakabilis ang mag-burst down. You have to use that Zonya as well. Jumpy have to use that toss para mapag-disengage mga kaibigan. Eating spin na si Ochi dito. One more champion. It's a double kill for Wargods Ochi. And I think it's about time to get the next turret inhibitor as well sa laban na to. Shura trying to run for his life, pero with the red buff coming from Ochi, I think they still have to disengage mga kaibigan. Pero Trevor have to chase down Shura sa bottom lane. And if ever na makapag-disengage sa laban na to, Marcel have to use this flashing and then stays their fear as well para makakuha na isang champion dito. It's a 3-for-1 exchange. Stronger goes down. Marcel is trying his best para mag-defend sa laban na to. In the Nexus turret mga kaibigan, Ochi focusing sa Nexus turret mga kaibigan, and Nexus as well sa laban na to. I think it's about time mga kaibigan to end this game. 1 score, 1 win for the day for team members of Wargods team against team members of the Diamonds. Very good job.
Yes, alright, so congratulations Wargods for winning the game at 35 minutes and 38 seconds. Of course, it's 27-16. Good job from Team Wargods. This win secures Wargods being one of the top 2 teams in the PGS this season. Now, if they win one more, like you mentioned a while ago, they will be having to have to face IPT on the tiebreaker match.
Yes.
So, this first game, of course, secures them the 2nd spot. So, basically, the 3rd spot will be Manila Eagles, followed by Team Diamond. So
yes, let's talk about let's see the match stats muna mga kaibigan. Looking at the lineup of Team Wargods, we're seeing that they have LeBlanc, they have Elise, they have Annie, they have Severe, and Karma. On the other hand, for Team Diamond, we have Kha'Zix, we have Caitlyn, we have Morgana, we have Nidalee and Cinch as well. Actually, I think ang nagpahirap talaga na sobrang sa Diamond, bukod sa yung dominance itong si JLC na top lane, yung dominance din niya sa mga teamfight na nangyari dito. Every time na meron siyang flash in, sobrang nahihirapan dito ang team ng Diamond to make sure na they can win the team fight. And I think lahat ng talo na team fight na nangyari for the Team Diamonds dito ay dahil walang flash in dito si JLC para mag-initiate.
Yes, and of course, Wargods Trevor also doing a really good job there, picking up several kills on his own, including with some help, of course, from JLC at the early part of the game, allowing him to snowball that really good goal that he has. As you can see here, he's pretty much item lock already. He was able to pick up a Rabadon's Death Cup, Zonya's Void Staff, Season Holy Grail, and his Arc Boots. There really isn't much for him. He could probably pick up one more item. He has one more slot, but other than that, he already has all the core items that he needs to burst down anybody.
Yes. Actually, this game, sobrang GG, well played. Both teams, sobrang entertaining match.
Yes.
I would give the MVP award once again for Annie dito or kay JLC. And I'm thinking that there's a high possibility na sa next game nila, Annie and LeBlanc can be banned or will be banned.
Yes, at least probably JLC, since JLC being very aggressive with those initiations allows Wargods to win those team fights. So definitely Team Diamond will have to think really hard about who they're gonna ban, because definitely JLC is a player who's really hard to ban because he's got a big champion pool and he's been very effective all season with almost all of the champions.
Siguro ang inisip nila kung pwede bang mag-ban ng player not a champion. Pero well, it's all about the competitive scene mga kaibigan. Dito mo talaga matatest ang laban natin sa pagitan ng Team Wargods versus team ng Diamond mga kaibigan. Meron pa tayong laban mamaya. Abang-abang lang kayo dyan, pero bago lahat, Jay, if ever na mawalan ka ng RP at tinatamad kayo lumabas ng bahay, anong gagawin mo?
Ano pa pwede na gawin?
Meron tayong pwedeng gawin mga kaibigan. Kung ikaw ay isang Smart TNT at Sunsiler subscriber, just visit epins.gamix.ph. By using your load, you can get the RP or yung RP amount na gusto mo.
Okay.
After mo syempre naman. After mo mag-visit ng epins.gamix.ph, just choose the game you are playing. We are playing League of Legends and after nun, choose the Garena Shell denomination you want. You want 20, you want 50, you want 100, depende sa'yo yan. Basta meron kang load. After mo piliin yun, click add to cart, and after mo mag-click ng add to cart, you will receive, you're about to type in your mobile number. Lalagay mo yung cellphone number mo, and after mo ilagay yung cellphone number mo, you will receive a confirmation code.
Yes.
After mo ma-receive yung confirmation code, just send it to 3161, and you will receive the EPIN amount you want, or yung EPIN mismo para sa yung Summoner account.
That's right.
E-pins mga kaibigan, hindi yung E-pin na ngipin natin, kundi yung E-pins, letter E, and pins from the GameX. Maraming salamat GameX. At eto na, mga kaibigan, we'll be right back after a few minute break. Meron pa tayong laban sa pagitan ng Team Diamonds at team ng Wargods. Maya-maya lamang.
That's right. So, we'll see you in a few minutes.
Yes, mga kaibigan, I'm GG Sphere.
And I'm Jay.
You're watching the Pro Gaming Series 2014 Spring Season. Stay tuned lang kayo. Maya-maya na yung mga bate. Again, thank you very much.